Hi, this is my friend Debbie, and she's here today to tell you a little bit about her experience with the Healthy Living program. And she's been my friend for a long time, and it was a very kind of a hard nut to crack in that she knows everything. Can you tell do you want to say something about that, Debbie, besides you? Oh, she's a registered nurse, and she is a certified diabetic educator, so she does know a lot.
I do know a lot, and it took me a long time to come to this place because I've always practiced what I preached. However, I did have issues with concentrated sweets that I knew weren't good for me. Having been diagnosed with prediabetes about 6-7 years ago, I've always tried to control that. Probably the greatest reflection of the Healthy Living program that I have gone through has been most noticeably a change in my cholesterol. There's the good cholesterol, the bad cholesterol. I like to think of it as the good, the bad, and the ugly. So my total cholesterol has always been elevated, and my LDL, think of L for lousy, cholesterol, the one that clogs our arteries, has always been on the high side. But because my HDL, think of H for healthy or heart healthy, was always elevated and high where we wanted it, the doctors never put too much thought into my ratio per se. But I knew that I needed to make some changes. So I went into this very open-minded and ready to make a change in my life. Total cholesterol should be less than 200. Mine, as I said, was 208. This was back in January when I had the original lab work done. Earlier this month, October, I had a repeat of my labs. My total cholesterol was 162.
And that was after the program?
After the program. I went through the program in August, and I continue to follow with the shakes, and I'll say a little more about them in a little bit. But my LDL, which is supposed to be under 100, and remember mine was 128, is now only 85. That is just amazing. My HDL that we want elevated, it should be over 45 for men and over 55 for women. My initial one in January was 66. My HDL now is 63, so not a lot of variation. Triglycerides should be less than 150. In January, mine were 99, and in October, they were 67. So I started the program in August, and I have finished it in September, and I've continued to do the shakes 1 to 2 times a day. On my days off, I tend to do 2 shakes simply because they're so easy to prepare. You can take them with you. They're filling. They last me 3 or 4 hours. They're a complete meal. And I've tried, I went online trying to find other products that compared to the Arbonne. And I've spent a lot of money trying to find ones that compared to the Arbonne, and nothing compares. Being a nurse, I really research, and I look at labels, food labels, constantly.
And you're good with your money too.
Yeah.
So I know you research from that perspective, and I remember that day you called me and you said, you know, I don't care if I have to pay retail for those Arbonne shakes. I'm getting them. Do you remember that?
And when it boils down to it, penny for penny, nickel for nickel, it's still the best deal because you're using 2 shakes, 2 scoops. Sometimes in other ones you have to use 3 or 4 scoops.
In other brands.
Other brands, and you don't get the complete meal. You can get the non-whey, you can get non-soy, but you're still, if you end up with another type of protein powder, you're not getting all the minerals, the nutrients, and vitamins. I really, really went from health store to health store. I went online and found nothing to compare for the value or the quality that is in these shakes.
Yeah.
So I am a very happy, satisfied customer. I did lose 8 pounds, went from 118 to 110, have so much energy. Yesterday it was so cute when I was walking from the BART station. Lewis said, "You just walk with such a spring in your step like a little kid." And it was so cute. And it's true. I really have a lot of energy and I feel great, and I would definitely support. I appreciate the support that I got from Brigitte and everything that had to do with this program. I think it's wonderful. And
Can you tell us a little bit about how you felt the first week of doing the program, and what, as far as I remember you said, "I'm starving, Brigitte, all the time," and I had encouraged you to do a food diary.
Right.
But you already knew everything. You knew a lot of stuff.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It was hard for you to do a food diary.
It was. And I did do a food diary, and also, even though I drank decaf coffee, I found I had to detox from...
Before the program you did detox.
Yeah.
Decaf coffee, yeah.
Yes. And the first 7 or 8 days were difficult, but had I taken the detox caps packet like what was recommended, I think I would have just breezed through it. And then as far as being hungry, but I do tend to exercise a lot, and there is some leeway if you do tend to burn up more calories with what you put in your shakes. However, I realized in talking with Brigitte when we consulted on this and told her what I was experiencing, I realized I wasn't putting a healthy fat in the shakes, like walnuts or coconut milk or avocado. And once I started doing that, the shakes really were holding me for 3 to 4 hours, and I've continued to do them and love them.
Yeah. So if you do this program, you can be on our Facebook page, our private Facebook page. If you have any questions, you can post them there, or you can call me. Oftentimes I'll set up regular times to talk with people, like once a week, maybe 15 minutes if they'd like. But I've had people that have just read the program and done it, and that works too. So there's all kinds of options depending on what works for you. So thanks, Debbie.
Okay, my pleasure.